Reports from the Defense Forces of Ukraine, over the past day, the forces have managed to eliminate 630 Russians and destroy 25 units of enemy equipment. This has come at a heavy cost, with the occupiers continuing to focus their main efforts on the offensive in several key areas. Despite facing heavy losses, the Russians are persisting with their attempts to capture key strategic locations in Ukraine. On April 21st, the armed forces of Ukraine were successful in repelling over 60 attacks in the Lyman, Bakhmut, Avdeevka, and Mariinka areas, with the fiercest battles taking place in Bakhmut. The Russian army has been trying to surround Bakhmut for the past 2 months, but has only been able to capture a few quarters of the city. Ukrainian military units and high-rise blocks in the western part of Bakhmut remain under Ukrainian control, while the north, south, and east of the city have been captured by the Russians. However, the Russians have been unable to make any further advances in other directions and have stopped their attacks, going on the defensive and preparing for a possible counter-offensive by the Ukrainian army. In the Kharkiv region, the front line remains unchanged, with the Russians controlling a small area in the northeast near the Russian-Ukrainian border. The occupiers are attempting to advance towards Kupiansk and along the Oskil River to push the Ukrainian army behind them. Similarly, in the Luhansk region, the Russians have been unable to make any significant advances. The biggest battles are taking place in the area of the village of Dybrova and in the forest south of Kremen. The main goal of the Russians is to push Ukrainian troops away from the cities of Kremenna and Spado, as well as from the route between them. However, they have only been able to advance a few kilometers in over 2 months. Despite the challenges they face, Ukrainian troops are making every effort to hold the front line and prevent the Russians from making any further advances. In Bakhmut, for example, they are trying to hold the front line along the railway line, but the Russians have managed to cross it in the north and south. Ukrainian forces currently control approximately 20% of the city, including the military unit and several high-rise blocks in the west of Bakhmut. In addition, Ukrainian troops are actively mining buildings during their retreat, detonating them remotely when the Russians enter and take positions. This tactic has proved effective in slowing down the Russian advance and preventing them from gaining a foothold in key strategic locations. In a recent development, Patriot air defense systems have arrived in Ukraine, making the country's skies safer, according to Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov. The announcement was made by Reznikov on his Twitter account, where he stated that the Ukrainian Air Force had quickly mastered the systems. This move comes after Germany's announcement of transferring the Patriot air defense system along with its missiles to Ukraine. While the exact number of missiles has not been disclosed, the deployment of the air defense forces is expected to enhance Ukraine's defense capabilities significantly. The paratroopers of the 79th Brigade have successfully destroyed an enemy T-90 tank using the powerful Javelin anti-tank guided missile ATGM. The tank was attempting to breach through a minefield with the help of specialized equipment, but the paratroopers were able to take it down with precise aim and strategic planning. The attack captured on video and has been circulating on social media,